Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to review Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. This is a 2001 film that was written and directed, of course, by Kevin Smith. And the plot of this movie, man, the plot. Okay, well you have the characters Jay and Silent Bob, who have been sort of side characters in every Kevin Smith movie up until this point. Well, they're getting their own movie. And here, they find out that Hollywood is making a movie based on them called Blunt Man and Chronic. So they're kind of upset about it initially because they're not really getting paid for any of this. But then when they read on the internet all of the comments of people talking shit about them and how much this movie's going to suck and this and that, they get upset. They get so upset that they vow to go to Hollywood and physically stop this movie from happening. Now, what I thought of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was... This was my very first time watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because when I had initially started watching Kevin Smith movies years ago, I stopped before I got to this point. So now I am watching this movie for the very first time. A movie that I have heard a lot about, that I've heard referenced a lot. And if you're a big Kevin Smith fan, I'm sure you love this movie. Me, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. But I didn't love it either. I just kind of... I sat here watching it, and I think there were moments that I appreciated. And then there was moments where I laughed and chuckled. But overall, it's just a dumb movie. It really, really is. And I think maybe, just maybe, if I had first watched this movie when I was younger, maybe even a teenager, where I liked almost everything that I watched back then, maybe I would have liked it more. Like if I grew up with it and whatnot, because I'm sure there's people who have that type of experience with it. Let me first talk about Jay and Silent Bob, the characters, because I've said it before, I guess I'll have to say it again, that I like them better when they're in small doses. I do. Because there's not a whole lot to their characters. So to do a whole movie based on them, I was almost dreading watching this, because like, honestly, it should have been a lot worse. Just if you had told me that you're going to make a standalone movie just with those characters, my eyes would roll and I would say, well, what the hell is that going to be like? I will say that I found it pretty damn amusing, I have to admit, when Ben Affleck's character from Chasing Amy, Holden, they talk to him and he sort of shows them the internet and shows them all of the comments of all the people who are shitting all over this movie before it comes out, before it's even made. And they're talking about how much it's going to suck. And they're talking about how much they hate Jay and Silent Bob, which is how, like, even one person said the same thing that I'm saying, that they're good in small doses. So I will admit, Kevin Smith, and he's doing all of this before it was really, like, nowadays, everybody on the internet complains about movies before they come out, or the fact that a movie's being made, or the fact that somebody got casted in a movie. I'm included, as far as being one of those people who complains. So back in 2001, the fact that he was talking about this back then, in fact the whole movie's plot is based around it, again, I have to give the guy kudos for just going with an idea, going with something before it was cool, before it was the thing to talk about, the thing to do. Now, seeing a lot of the old characters from the old movies come back, that was really interesting, and again, stuff that I appreciated, like Dante and Randall from Clerks, seeing them back in the store, I got a kick out of. Seeing Brody, who, yes, I said I didn't love the Brody character, but Jason Lee, seeing, like, the fact that he now owns his own comic book store and stuff like that, just all of that was pretty nice. But then we meet brand new characters. Characters played by Ali Larter, Elijah Dushku, Jennifer Smith, who is Kevin Smith's wife, and Shannon Elizabeth. These four girls are basically diamond robbers, and they meet up with Jay and Silent Bob because, well, Jay and Silent Bob are hitchhiking to Hollywood. and they run into them, and they're basically going to use these two guys as bait or as a distraction for them to rob these diamonds, and they're going to use them to be the scapegoat while they take off. And this is where the movie becomes a science fiction movie, like the most unrealistic movie of all time, where Shannon Elizabeth, one of the hottest women that you could really ever think of, right? She falls in love with Jay, played by Jason Mewes, by the way. And look, I mean, maybe you can name another pairing in a movie that is either just as unbelievable or even more unbelievable. Maybe you could, but the way how Jay talks to her, and I'm supposed to buy that she falls in love with this guy? Really? Really? In what world does this happen? I know it's Jay and Silent Bob. I know it's a comedy. I know it's dumb and stupid, but just that's like the one part where I'm just like, really? Although I did like the side plot. I did like these four girls sort of being the evil version of Charlie's Angels and being badasses in the leather outfits and going in there and doing backflips through the alarm systems. Although I didn't really care for the fart joke. Or just, there's moments where it's just really juvenile type humor that, again, I might have appreciated when I was younger, a teenager. But at the same time, this movie's rated R. So, like, if this isn't for that really young demographic of people who, kids who would find this type of shit funny, then who is it for? Jay and Silent Bob are dealing with a monkey. I'm just sitting there like, what is this movie turning into? I thought I was going to start to like it, and then it just sort of became a who's who of people in Hollywood showing up, like Sean William Scott, Tracy Morgan, Chris Rock, who I've officially figured out what I don't like about Chris Rock in movies. It's because every time you see him, every joke that he tells, especially in this movie, which pretty much sums it all up, is that it's all about how black he is and how white everybody else is. Like, literally all of his humor, all of his jokes are about race. And it's just, it gets tiresome after a while. It's just the same shit over and over again. He never once made me laugh. In fact, he was annoying the shit out of me. I will say, Will Ferrell as this federal wildlife marshal was hilarious. He was making me laugh pretty damn well. Will Ferrell pretty much always is successful at making me laugh. Just certain scenes with him and his faces and delivery and mannerisms. Every time Will Ferrell is on the screen, he gets me. Quick cameo with Shannon Doherty. I did like seeing her here and doing the Scream thing and Wes Craven. And I mean, again, I didn't love like, oh, the reveal of the killer is the monkey. It's like, okay, that wasn't funny. But like the setup to it, I guess, was decent. Another funny moment was Ben Affleck and Matt Damon playing themselves, and they were shooting the Good Will Hunting sequel, and just seeing their preparation and kind of supposedly how much of asshole douchebag actors that they are. Just, I love that they were making fun of themselves. I love even the short moments when they make a joke and then they turn and look at the camera, because obviously it's kind of an inside joke. I'm not saying I'm the most inside person in this clique of movies, but moments like that I can appreciate, I can laugh with. Also, everybody knows how much of a big fan Kevin Smith is of Star Wars, right? I mean, it's talked about in every single one of his movies. The title of this movie is a take off of The Empire Strikes Back. So I can only imagine what it must have been like for this guy to get not only Carrie Fisher to make a cameo, but Mark Hamill himself to be in this movie, and they had a lightsaber battle with the guy. I mean, that's awesome. That's just fucking awesome. I'm sitting there the whole time going, like, if I think it's this awesome, how awesome does Kevin Smith think that that is? I don't know. I will say that this movie, once again, isn't terrible, but it's not great either. It has a lot of cheesy moments, a lot of dumb moments, a lot of just real juvenile, bottom of the barrel type jokes, but also it had some nice moments, some clever moments, some funny moments that kind of surprised me. So overall, just an okay movie, maybe a little bit more than okay, but I don't love it probably as much as most people do. So guys, you let me know in the comments below, do you love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Do you hate it? Do you just like it? Do you agree with me? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!